Hello, guys. Ready? Short stories and non-fiction. That is what we talked about the previous day. We talked about a lot of authors and works. And also we did one quiz. Do you remember, everyone? Now I have come today with another set of questions. And here I have introduced some summaries and pictures so that you will easily remember. So good evening. Welcome to this session on short stories and fiction. I'm sharing my screen. Ta-dang, there you go. I hope you have been attending all the sessions till now. We are doing an amazing program for net and set here. And if you take all these questions and read extra, you will get a lot of questions in the exam. So here goes the first question. What among the following is not a feature of the short stories? Easy question. And I was laughing. Is it brevity? Is it precision? Is it compactness? Or is it epic similes? Which of the following is not a feature of the short stories? Tell me, everyone. Which of these is not a feature of the short stories? Yes, there you go. It is epic similes. Epic similes is not a feature of short stories. Very good. Very, very good. Now, as we start the session, please remember to share the video with your friends so that everyone can join and learn together. Which statement among the following is not true? Here we are talking about what is not true. Short story has suffered from a lack of theoretical attention. That means no critical essays or books are there on short story. Is it correct? The genre of short story has always been very popular. Is that correct? Or is short story a recent genre? Henry James is a short story writer. Wasn't he a novelist? A true short story differs from a novel, chiefly in its essential unity of impression. Open course coordinators, please share the link of our public group, Telegram group, so that everybody can join. Now, which of these is not true, guys? It is option B. The genre of short story has not always been popular, guys. It's a recent genre. Okay, today we are going to show you pictures. Next, you will see a picture. Everyday Use is a short story by, have you heard of Everyday Use? I will give you a clue. It is written by a black writer. All these are black writers. Alice Walker, Bucci Emecheta, Toni Morrison, Maya Angelou. All these are black writers. It is Alice Walker. Everyday Use is a very famous story by Alice Walker. It is prescribed in universities. Dekho, Maggie and Dee are sisters. Okay? Dee is going to study and she is very confident. She likes her culture and identity, whereas Maggie is not a clever girl. She is not pretty, but Maggie makes quilts. Now, Dee thinks that they should display that quilt, preserve it, because quilt represents their culture and tradition. But Maggie and her mother, Maggie and their mother, Mrs. Johnson, they are using the quilt. They love the quilt. They use the quilt because the quilt represents their family, their ancestors. The quilt is getting destroyed in the process because they are using it. So which of these is correct? Is it good to preserve your culture like a curio, or is it good to use your culture? This is the main question raised in the story. Everyday use. Everyday use is about the use of the quilt. Everyday use by Alice Walker. Did you understand, everyone? Our coordinator, Ankita, has posted the link to our public group. You should join the Valath public group in Telegram, because there we have everyday quizzes. Okay, right. The Rocking Horse Winner is a short story by Dash. It is a modernist writer. The Rocking Horse Winner is by a novelist and poet. Is it D.H. Lawrence, James Joyce, Virginia Woolf, or Somerset Maugham? Sorry, guys, spelling mistake. Somerset Maugham. Who is the author of Rocking Horse Winner? It is D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence. Very good. Shall I tell you the story? Did you know that this story became a movie? This is Paul. This boy is Paul. Paul has a mother and a father. Paul's father does not work hard. He does not bring money. Paul's mother needs more and more money. She is a commercial artist. And Paul secretly discovers that he is good at predicting the winner in horse races. He tells his uncle Oscar about it. Oscar and Paul together start betting. They make money, more and more money. And they gave this money to Paul's mother. Paul's mother should be happy now, but she is unhappy because she wants even more money. She's not happy with the lot of money that she got. She's unhappy. One day, Paul betted on a horse, wants to bet on a horse. He is sitting in his rocking chair and he is rocking until he gets into a trance and he will get the correct choice. He's trying to make it. His mother understands this is how he is making money. And that night, Paul bets on the right horse again. He wins a lot of money, but he dies. This is the story of Rocking Horse Winner. Paul dies at the end. You know, these are all very touching stories. When you read such stories, you will feel, oh my God, so touched. This is Rocking Horse Winner by D.H. Lawrence. Will you read it on your own, guys? Next question. A Short, Happy Life of Francis Macomber is also a very touching story. Who is it by? Is it William Faulkner, Ernest Hemingway, O. Henry, or Nathaniel Hawthorne? They are all American writers. Tell me, guys, did you like it that I'm telling you these stories? Shall I do that more? It is Ernest Hemingway. Now I will tell you the story. Francis Macomber is a hunter. And this is Margaret, his wife. But Francis Macomber is not a brave hunter. Once a lion came and he ran away. And Robert Wilson helped him. Robert Wilson that night or the next night had sex with Margaret, Francis Macomber's wife also. Francis Macomber knows that. He is angry, but he wants to be a big hunter. He wants to be brave. And Francis Macomber is again going on a hunting expedition. Robert Wilson is again helping him. At one time, they are hunting buffaloes, wild buffaloes. Macomber is going at the buffalo very courageously, bravely. And he is going to hit the buffalo, but the buffalo is charging at him, charging at him, charging at him. Robert Wilson comes and shoots at the buffalo, but the buffalo is still charging at Francis Macomber, while Margaret is sitting and watching them from a distance. The buffalo is about to kill Francis Macomber when Margaret took the gun and shot. Margaret took the gun and shot at her own husband, Francis Macomber, and killed him. Francis Macomber dies. This is the story of this short story by Hemingway. Can you believe that? And look at the title. The title is The Short Happy Life of Francis Macomber. At the end, he dies. His wife kills him. All these stories are characterized by irony. Human beings are not acknowledging their limitations, their weaknesses. They are stretching too much beyond their limits. And at the end, they are suffering because of that also. Did you understand, guys? Did you like the story? I hope you like my telling the stories. Did you like my storytelling? Tell me, like the chat. Sorry, like the video if you liked. A very old man with enormous wings. That is another famous short story. Ayyo, it is subtitled A Tale for Children. All these short stories we mentioned today are defined by their ironic tone. Is this story written by Roald Dahl or Gabriel Garcia Marquez or Rudyard Kipling or none of the above? A very old man with enormous wings. I will give you the clue, guys. It is written in the style of magic realism. So, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. You want to know the story? In a village, there is a husband and wife, Pelayo and Elisenda. Pelayo and Elisenda have a child. And at one time, it has been raining so much. A lot of crabs come into the house. And the child is not able to sleep. The child is crying. The child is ill because of rain. Pelayo took all the crabs and threw them in the ocean. And he came back home to find that in the courtyard, there is a very old man with enormous wings lying there. Oh, yo, who is he? Pelayo and Elisenda does not know. And this man is speaking some strange language. Is he the devil or is he the angel? All the people in the village start saying, this is an angel. They all come to see him. And this very old man does not care. So Pelayo chained him or shut him up in the chicken coop. This is the chicken coop. The very old man with enormous wings is lying there. At that time, people started coming more and more to see this old man. Pelayo had to build a fence. Pelayo had to start giving tickets and collecting money. And slowly, Pelayo became very rich. The child grew older. And one day, you know, the family does not need this old man anymore. And this old man is very old and he's almost dying. One day, Elisenda looks out from the window. They have built a big house. Their son is now studying and grown up. They don't need this old man anymore. And Elisenda looked out of the window and saw that this old man is trying to fly. And somehow he flapped his wings and managed to fly away. The man flew away. Elisenda did not stop him. Elisenda felt relieved that he is now gone. This is the story of a very old man with enormous wings. It reminds me of Kafka's Metamorphosis. People don't need you. At that time, you have to die. You have to go. So sad, this story. Because of this story, I could not smile for some time. I was so sad. One more short story. Miss Brill. It is a story about loneliness. It is a story about being unwanted. Who is the author? Is it Charlotte Perkins Gilman, Catherine Mansfield, or Virginia Woolf, or Kate Chopin? I will give you a clue if you don't know. Yes, Vibrant Colors of Life. I will give you a clue if you don't know. It is by a New Zealand writer. It is Catherine Mansfield. Ye dekho. Miss Brill is a very old woman. She lives near a park, a very big park. One Sunday, she goes to the park and sits there, like usual. And she looks at all the people passing by, their conversation. And when she went to the park, she is wearing her fur. Fur is very expensive. She never takes out the fur from its box. This day, she took out the fur and she is wearing it and sitting in the park, watching people. Everybody passes by. And some time went by. Miss Brill wants to go home. And at that time, she overheard two people talking. They were referring to her as a stupid old thing. Stupid old thing. Somebody was referring to her. And then the other person is saying, it is that fur that makes her look stupid. It is that fur. That person is stammering. It is that fur that makes her look stupid. Miss Brill quietly goes home and puts away her fur in the box. She will not take it out again. This fur is like a human being. When the fur is old and not useful anymore, not taken out, it will become a stupid old thing. This human being also will become a stupid old thing. And the human being will have to go back in the lonely box. That box is like death. You can't be here and you can't be wanted forever. As long as I am here, teaching you, telling you stories, giving you useful materials, I will be wanted. But one day, when I cannot tell any more stories, when my brain is not working anymore, maybe nobody will remember me. That is the condition of all human beings, not only me. Oh, this is such a sad story, so similar to a very old man with enormous wings. So sad, isn't it? I was so sad reading all this, putting this picture here, that I thought no more pictures. Today, no more pictures. No, one more picture I'll show you. This is also about loneliness. Kya hai Ankita? She is the one who made these slides for me, and she put all the sad stories together. A Hunger Artist is a short story by, is it Franz Kafka, Albert Camus, Jean-Paul Sartre, or none of the above? Dekho, it is Franz Kafka. Shravani baby, you are so good. Answering always. Proud of you. But Franz Kafka ka T nahi hai. Franz Fanon ka T hai. Kafka ka T nahi hai. Okay? Dekho, I will tell you the story. Once upon a time, Kafka is telling us, Once upon a time, people used to enjoy the spectacle of hunger artists. People will be put in a cage and they will go hungry, hungry, hungry for many days. They will go very lean and people would like it. These hunger artists were like heroes. But our hunger artist, this individual, has a patron he's called an impresario. Impresario has said, you cannot go hungry for more than 40 days. Our hunger artist does not like that. He wants to go on and on and on hungry. He does not want to eat. But then, after some time, people stopped liking hunger artists. Circuses came, other entertainment was there. People stopped liking hunger artists. Nobody took interest in hunger artists. Our hunger artist did not have a job. So he went to the circus. And they put this hunger artist in a cage near the animals. And our hunger artist is sitting there, lying there, not eating. Nobody pays attention to him because everybody likes only the animals. So the hunger artist did not complain. He is quiet. One day, the cage is empty. And everybody said, why is this empty cage here? They went and looked in the cage. In one corner, a very small, lean man is lying there dying. Because for days, nobody knows how many days, he has gone without food and he is now dying. Ayyo, people felt sorry. And then he died. When he died, they buried his body and put a panther inside the cage. The panther ate a lot of food. Whatever food was given to the panther ate happily. And everybody liked the panther. They all came and crowded around the panther, looking at the panther. In the same cage, when a human being lay, trying to make a spectacle of his hunger and quietly died, nobody cared. Now everybody cares for the panther. And they are looking at the panther eating its food. I really want to cry. Same story, same theme. Human life is so unwanted. Whatever you do to get other people's attention, whatever you do to become a hero in this life can utterly fail and you can become like a fool. What do you think, guys? Did you like this story? I feel like crying whenever I talk about it. It's so, so sad. Please remember all the stories that Ankita has put in these slides that I am teaching you. They are all very famous stories, amazing stories prescribed in universities also. Please read them. Now, no more stories, okay? I will just give you questions. So many questions are there today. Don't leave the class. A good man is hard to find and other stories. It is a collection of short stories by, is it William Faulkner, Ernest Hemingway, Flannery O'Connor, or Henry James? A good man is hard to find. It is Flannery O'Connor. Winter Dreams is a short story by Winter Dreams. Is it by Faulkner, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Flannery O'Connor, or Flaubert? Winter Dreams is by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald. Shall I start YouTube shorts with just small stories like this? One short story, one YouTube short. Ankita, will you help me with that? I think people will love it. More than big novels. Let us collect all the famous short stories in the world, Indian also, and do this. Hannah? Great. The Garden of Forking Paths is a 1941 short story by Dash. It is a very major postmodern writer about whom our Foucault has written. It is Jorge Luis Borges. Borges, B-O-R-G-E-S, wrote The Garden of Forking Paths. A Worn Path by Dash is a short story. The story is given here. It is about an elderly African-American woman who undertakes a familiar journey on a road in a rural area to get medicine for her grandson. A worn path. An old African-American woman is going on a familiar journey to get medicine for her grandson. That journey is familiar. Everybody takes that journey towards disease and death. Eudora Welty. Eudora Welty. Shrabani, amazing. Good. Which among the following, now non-fiction, okay? Which among the following is not true about Plato's Republic? It is a Socratic dialogue. Correct. It concerns justice, order, and character of the just city-state. Wherever there is justice, what will be that city-state like? Callipolis is an utopian city-state mentioned here. Battle of Marathon is the setting of Republic. That is wrong. Battle of Marathon is not the setting of Republic. Okay, next question. Politics is a work of Dash by Aristotle. Aristotle wrote about what in politics? Obviously, it must be politics. But is it political philosophy, political economy, political justice? It is political philosophy. Philosophy. Okay. On Liberty is an essay by the English philosopher. Now we have come to England. The English philosopher who wrote On Liberty. Is it J.S. Mill, John Ruskin, Jeremy Bentham, or Walter Pater? Thank you, Jagdish. Thank you, everyone. On Liberty is by J. Okay, the name starts with J. Everybody's name starts with J here. It is J.S. Mill. Very good, good, good. The letter from Birmingham jail. This man was jailed. Also known as letter from Birmingham City Jail. Also known as The Negro is Your Brother. Who is the author? I will give you a clue. It is a man or a woman who made a famous speech. Abraham Lincoln, Phyllis Wheatley, Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela, सबने speeches बोला होगा. तो कौन होगा? Okay, this is a man who gave the speech. I have a dream. This man gave the speech. I have a dream. So who is that? Of course, it is Martin Luther King Jr. है ना? Very good. Civilization and its Discontents. It is a book by Civilization and its Discontents. Okay, this is also about a man who had a dream. Aha, how is my code? Or how is my clue? Bolo, bolo. Who is the man who had a dream? It is a man who wrote about dreams. It is Sigmund Freud. Civilization and its Discontents. He is talking about civilization. If everything in civilization is good and happy, then why are we unhappy? ऐसे पूछता है कौन? हमारा Sigmund Freud. An inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations. इतना बड़ा title? कोई नहीं. Everybody calls it Wealth of Nations. Who is it by? This famous non-fiction work is by the father of economics, Adam Smith. Adam Smith wrote it. Wealth of Nations. The Metaphysics of Morals. Obviously, it's a book about morals. Is it by Kant, Rousseau, Voltaire, Descartes? Okay, I'll give you a clue. He was a very major philosopher. All of these were philosophers. It is Immanuel Kant. When I ask you this question, you should say, I can't. Can you answer? You should say, I can't. I will say, correct. That is the answer. I can't, or Emmanuel can't. Did you like that? Hello, Anjali Raghuram. I saw you there. She was our last batch student. The Nicomachean Ethics is a book by somebody. It is a work on ethics, the science of the good for human life. What is good for human life? That is what he talks about here. Kaun hoga? Is it Aristotle, Plato, Horace, Virgil? Aristotle, Plato, Horace, Virgil. Virgil nahi hai. Horace nahi hai. Plato nahi hai. Okay, this man's name has 3 syllables. That is Aristotle. Aristotle. Are, 4 syllables. 3 nahi, 4. Aristotle. Aristotle. Okay, good. Nicomachean Ethics. Remember, 4 syllables. Okay. Discourse on the origin and basis of inequality among men. वो लोग जानते थे कि आप लोग याद नहीं करेंगे, इतना बड़ा टाइटल, इसलिए it is commonly known as second discourse. किसने लिखा? Is it Kant, Rousseau, Voltaire? None of the above. Second discourse is by Rousseau, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Okay. Next question to you. Letters on the English is a series of essays written by somebody. This man was not English, but he went to England. And he lived in Great Britain between 1726 and 29. Arey yaar ke Narayan to nahi hoga kabhi bhi. He did not live in 18th century. Who is this? The man who went to England, traveled there, and wanted to spread in English philosophy in Europe. It is Voltaire. Letters on the English, he wrote. Okay, The Gift of Death is a book on religion by a very famous philosopher. The Book of Death. Is it Derrida, Foucault, Jean-Luc Marion, or Friedrich Nietzsche? I will give you a clue. This is the man who wrote Structure, Sign and Play in the Discourse of the Human Sciences. Aha, it is Derrida. Derrida has written, oh my God, so many works, guys. You should look up Derrida, okay? Will you? Hey, if you like the video, please like the video. If you don't like the video, who else will like the video? Please like the video. Okay. The System of Objects is one of the early books by a sociologist. Here he is talking about consumerism and mass culture. He is talking against consumerism and mass culture. Is it Baudrillard, John Barth, Roland Barthes, or koi Barth? 4 options. Baudrillard, John Barth, Roland Barthes, or koi Barth? Bolo, bolo, kaun hai? I will give you a clue. It is not any Barth. So it is Baudrillard. How is my clue? Very nice clue. The System of Objects is not by any Barth. It is not John Barth. It is not Roland Barthes. It is not or koi Barth. It is Baudrillard. The Society of the Spectacle. Spectacle means show. You people are not laughing. I will not talk to you. When I say jokes, you don't laugh. I don't like it one bit. The Society of the Spectacle is a work of philosophy and Marxist critical theory. And he developed the concept of spectacle. Is it Louis Althusser, Antonio Gramsci, Guy Debord, Marcel Danesi? Who is the guy who wrote the Society of the Spectacle? One guy with spectacles wrote Society of the Spectacle. Who is the guy who wrote Society of the Spectacle? Bolo, bolo. Who is the guy who wrote Society of the Spectacle? It is Guy Debord. Today, everybody laughed. Thank you very much. Mogambo khush hua. Okay, so that was the end of today's stupid rapid fire. It was so silly, my options. Sorry, my memory techniques, isn't it? So silly. But we listened to some stories, amazing stories, didn't we? Okay, guys. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the questions. I hope you liked the session. And I hope you love me. Anyway, I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye-bye. My YouTube babies, God bless you.